Let's do it.
We're going live for YouTube. Say hi, Tube.
What up, Tube?
What up, Tube? All right. And last but certainly not least, we're going for the podcast.
Okay.
It's Friday. I don't know what you want from me. All right, here we go. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday.
Yeah, finally.
You guys ready to rock and roll
For
on this
those of
Friday?
you that celebrate Friday.
Yeah, for those
Because
of you who
there's
celebrate
definitely a lot
Friday.
of people that are listening to the show, present company included, that are probably actually working this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Open house is
yeah.
ready to go, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All day, every day.
All right, ladies and gents. Hernan C.S., host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host.
The insurance bro, James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance.
And we have a big blocker in the house.
Another big blocker. One of their best. Top dog over here.
Thank you.
So excited to have on the show with us, Joceline Preciado. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast. I'm so excited to get to the meat of this. And
Heck yeah, it's going to be a good one. Dude, I want to know.
Hang on. But before,
I know. I was going to already jump into
I know,
it. All right,
I know.
real quick, ladies and
he's
gents.
just so excited to get to know you.
Right? 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. That's what we're shooting for. So if you have a new pair of shoes, used pair of shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james at csfirst.com. He'll hop on his Harley right over there and pick up those bad boys. And then a reminder, August 24th, for those of you in high school or for those of you with high schoolers who need some community service, we're doing an IB.
Or those of you who just love the beach and want to do some good in the world.
Oh, yeah, that too. IB Beach cleanup on August 24th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hit us up at Business Bros Pod for more details on that. All right.
Yeah.
There. Got through the promos?
Got through the promos.
All right. No, that's good. Jocelyn, welcome to the program. All right.
Thank you.
I want to know your story. I want to know where you started. You graduated, because we were talking before the show, you graduated in 2010 and boom, right away real estate?
No. That's definitely not how it happened. I wish it would have happened that way and I would have fell into real estate, quicker than I did. But that's not how it happened. Right out of high school, in high school, I was an art major. So I went to Chula Vista High School. You're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At Eastlake.
Oh, okay. So I was at Chula Vista High School, but I grew up more in South San Diego, but I just went to that school because of the SCPA, which is a creative and performing arts program. So I was always in art. I loved, doing all types of different art. I always had 2 art classes every year and I had 7 periods because of it. It's just been one of my passions since I was young.
You like being on stage, or is it with a paintbrush?
No, literally drawing, painting, doing all types of 3D art, graphic art.
What?
I learned all that stuff. Yeah, that was my high school passion.
Well, I'm gonna put a pin on that because I'm gonna come back to that one. We'll keep going.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. It kind of has to do with why I ended up at Big Block too. So, interesting enough, I went to the Art Institute to enroll and everything, and my mom was with me, and I was so excited. Showed them some of my art, and the previous year I had taken APR and passed the class. I think a few other people in my class passed. But it was kind of heartbreaking because I couldn't go to that school. It was super expensive, and my parents were not going to pay $100,000 for me to go to art school so that I could come out and graduate and start earning $30,000. That was just not going to happen. So then I was like, okay, let's just make another plan because that's not going to happen, So I kind of just thought about what I wanted to do. My mom had always really supported me in the whole go to college, and that was one of the things that I knew I had to do. Nobody in my family had ever graduated from college, or none of my parents. They came here only a few years before I was born. So them barely handling English and everything. They really, my dad's a contractor and he's been in the business for a long time, so he really made it from zero. So they really made me who I am today because of their example, the hard work that I saw them put in together. So then we were okay, so what are you going to do? I knew I wanted to go to college, but I was I want to do something different, something not just anyone would do, just I want to be a good example for other people and really impact the world. So I decided, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Dude, first of all, before you keep going, like your parents not paying for school, I love them already. Like that could have put you in it, right? I mean, that's an awesome move. That's like that's one of those things where, like, you know, you could have easily signed some FAFSA forms and took out a loan and done it your own self. But dude, you would have been graduating, making $30,000 a year, doing something that you probably wouldn't have loved. I think that's one of the things where, like, you have this passion for art, but if you do it like where you do it as a job, forced to do it, it's gonna lose its passion. Like you got to figure out how to do it for yourself so that it makes you happy, not because you're forced to do it. You know what I mean? I think that was a good choice, by the way. So good on your parents for you know, saying, nah, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that they didn't want to. It's just that they didn't have the money, means, you know? Yeah. And even if they would have, I'm like you said, I'm glad that they didn't, because then, you know, I might not have been where I'm at right now, and I'm super happy where I'm at right now. But after that, I really decided that I know that it has nothing to do where I'm at right now, but I wanted to be a family attorney. That was my first plan after the whole art thing didn't work out. And I was like, okay, an attorney makes good money. It's, you know, you can make an impact. I wanted to help families, you know, who had maybe like issues that they needed an attorney for that they might not have one for, or, you know, underserved populations more than anything. So I knew that I needed a bachelor's, so I did bachelor's of social work at SDSU after going to community college for 2 years, because I didn't get into SDSU.
Another smart move, by the way.
I didn't get into SDSU when I graduated from
Good,
high school.
You saved thousands of dollars.
I got into other schools, but not SDSU, which was my plan, my first plan. So that was another heartbreak. The first heartbreak, you know, like, well, one of them. But
so far, like, all these things that have happened to you have been beneficial. Like, you didn't get into huge debt to go.
You don't see it like
no,
that.
Of course not, right? Junior college is a great avenue. Like, what if you went to what if you're at junior college and you realize, you know what, school's not really my thing. Like, at least it only costs you like what, $30 a unit or something. You're not paying thousands of dollars that you're paying at university level to figure it out.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely a huge you know, like, it was a good decision, you know. And now, like you said, like, now that I look at it, it's great, you know, that I did. Right? Yeah, exactly. But at the time, it was a huge disappointment for my parents, for literally everyone, like, well, myself too. Like, I couldn't believe that I didn't get in. I thought I had like the compact for success. That didn't work out. Like, people were like, wait, what are you doing at City College? And I was just like, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, but were your parents really like fine. Disappointed in you, or just kind of like in the process?
I know that my mom was disappointed in me.
Really?
Yeah, of course. She literally, my dad would wake up super early every single day, and I would wake up with him to take me to school, to Chula Vista, even though we lived in Del Sol, in like by the 905. That's where I grew up.
Oh, dude, we grew up right by Montgomery, off of Palm.
I was supposed to go to Montgomery.
Well, NIB.
But because I wanted to go to a different school, he made that sacrifice. You know, it was a sacrifice we made together. Yeah. But, you know, like, otherwise I would have just walked to school. You know what I mean? So, of course, they were disappointed in me. Like, I got distracted by other things, you know? And, like, that was a huge learning opportunity for me, you know? So, it was fine. At the end of the day, I went to SDSU, graduated with the bachelor's in social work. And then I started working in the social work field. I started working for CPS for about a year. And then I worked with a lot of family attorneys in that field, and I started observing their lifestyle. And I started to realize that they weren't happy. A lot of them, most of them.
Well, I mean, they're really taking on their own shoulders the stress of their clients. I mean, dude, think of it. Family law, if you got to go to a family law attorney, it's not a good situation. Exactly. Like, there's stuff going on. And, you know, sometimes it's a civil thing where, you know, husband and wife decide, you know, unreconcilable differences or whatever, and they want to split up, and, you know, they're arguing about who the kids are going to be with. That's already bad enough. But you have some of them that are really bad. You have some where you have abuse situations where the kids are fully neglected, like, where, you know, it's really bad. And you know, how do you as an individual look at the situation and not almost sometimes want to go kill somebody, right? For the what they're doing to these little kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and some people can't really unplug from that.
It's really, really, really hard. And the reason why I decided social work before being an attorney is because or to even like major in social work, is because one of my neighbors growing up, pretty much one of the only professionals that I knew was a social worker. She lived right down the street. And she would tell me like all her stories, you know, or not her stories like in detail, just like some of the stuff that she would live through. And I would be interested, and I'd be like, wow, like how crazy that you're able to like deal with that, all that. And it's been years that she's been a social worker. And I always tell her, like, I literally admire you so much because I don't know how you do it, you know? I was an intern for a year before I graduated, and then I worked there for almost a year before I was like, actually I decided I want to have a baby. And I would see other ladies doing it, like being pregnant while at work, and they seemed okay, you know, like I never saw anybody like really like.
Did you like sit down and actually talk to them though?
No, I didn't. They seemed okay, you know. Yeah. I mean, everybody just seems okay.
Yeah,
in that
everybody
agency.
puts up a front,
yeah,
right?
Everybody just like goes with the flow. There's even like jokes that I will never repeat because it's just so bad, you know, like. But at the end of the day, I thought that I could do it, and I just didn't want to anymore, you know. And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna change my whole like everything, you know. So by then I had already kind of started the Pretty Berry. So when I started that, it kind of just like really like helped me, you know, kind of just distract myself from that.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. What is it? So because nobody else really knows.
So the Pretty Berry is a little tiny business. I call it my little baby. It's I pretty much started selling chocolate covered strawberries because I had the opportunity because my aunt sold them and she couldn't do it for personal reasons anymore. So I kind of like took on her little clientele that she had and then just kind of like
grew it from there.
Yeah. And it was pretty much something that it's a creative outlet for me, you know, like I was saying, I love the art and the crafting and everything that has to do with something looking beautiful, you know. So that really you know, fed my creative side this whole time. It's already been like 4 years, and it's been there in every transition that I've done after that, you know. So I love it. And right now I stopped actually like taking orders because I really wanted to focus on real estate. I worked in property management for like a year before I actually got my license in real estate. And now I'm a full-time realtor. So
let me ask you,
that's where I'm at now.
I you know, in everything you spoke about right now, that passion that you have for the arts, like it's in you. I don't think it's ever going away. How do you, I mean, and you still even have the little business, you haven't taken orders lately and whatnot, but how does real estate kind of feed that creativity for you? Like what are you doing in the real estate world, in the real estate space that, you know, you can not take orders? Because I would imagine that with such passion, like, if you're doing real estate and it's not fulfilling that need, you're going to take orders because the need is there.
No, so I decided that I wanted to be a realtor because I love houses. Like, I love, like, the whole home. I don't know how to call it. I just love the whole feeling of a house. Like I said, my dad's a contractor. So when I was young, I was about 10. He bought our house when I was, like, a few years before that, but we started remodeling it from like top to bottom. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and it's now like a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom.
4 bathrooms?
Yeah.
Dude, Dad hooked it up.
Yeah.
That's tough though. I mean, you always hear, you know, the mechanic has the crappiest car. The contractor never finishes his own house.
Oh, he finished it. He finished
Your mom was on him, huh?
It took a while, and like any remodel, it was really stressful, but it definitely developed like a sense of like passion for that. And pride. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's something exciting to see how your house used to be, and then to see it like, you know, I don't know if you remodeled your house, but
the whole thing.
So of course you'll understand like how that sparks this little like idea in your head, you know. Of course I want to do that one day too, you know. So to see that happen and to see my mom, like, she did all the interior design and just them being able to do it, like, I really want to do that, you know. So I just in real estate really find myself being very like myself. Like when I talk to people about buying their house, I get so excited for them. I get so happy for them, and especially when it's people who are first time home buyers, because they're fulfilling a dream, and that's all. Like, even though I consider myself an artist, I'm a dreamer. I really love like big dreams. I have big dreams myself, and sometimes I struggle because I feel like family and friends sometimes they don't understand, but at the end of the day, when I'm helping a client fulfill that home buying dream, it's really fulfilling for me.
Well, let me ask you, real estate has a very high failure rate, right? Mm-hmm. And so you went from going to school, getting a degree, being in a field that you got your degree in, transitioning to property management, and then to a realtor. Like, what kind of, did you get support when you did that? Or did you get people like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to do good in that. Like, what kind of experience did you have when you decided to become a realtor?
I think that in any time that I've like done anything that's not like the standard, like, thing, like, people have always judged me really hard, like my family, my friends, everybody, because it's like these people, and it's not bad, like it's okay, because these people love you and they care about you, and the last thing that they want to do is see you fail, so I get it in a way, but then at the same time I have a vision for myself, mm-hmm. and it's hard for people to understand it because they don't see it.
Well, how do you overcome that? Like, what, I mean, you probably got things like, Mija, that's not gonna work. Like, there's people who do that all the time.
There's a lot of competition.
Right?
That's
there's
what
a lot of competition. Like, I know like 4 realtors. Why would
and it's funny because I get it. There's a lot of competition, but I don't think that there's anybody in competition with me, because I see that like you said, I haven't been here for that long in the real estate industry, but I already see the weakness. Like, I already see that people don't take it seriously, mm-hmm. And I see that, like, my work ethic has been there since day one. I started working when I was young, like 16, 17. Even before that, I worked with my dad. I would go work with him, with my mom too. She cleaned houses. I would always help. Like, I have that spirit in me, and I see other realtors, and I'm just like, like,
you see them around the halls.
Yeah, I'm just like
bullshitting, but not actually getting work done.
I have such little time. Like, I have a 1-year-old, so the time that I do have my babysitter and my daycare, I really focused on those money generating activities, mm-hmm. And so that's why I don't really see too much competition out here.
Well, you also said you don't watch any TV, right?
Yeah, before we started talking.
You don't watch any TV. That's a huge distraction for most people. So, I mean, that means you're freeing up time. We did an episode. Remember that, Ham? We did an episode a long time ago on, like, the number of hours people spend on Netflix.
And, how much that actually costs. How much Netflix really costs.
Yeah, like, just breaking down the time. And
it was like episode 55 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't even remember the numbers off the top of my head, but we, researched the numbers. I mean, it costs people a lot of money for spending that time because of the opportunity cost that you could be being productive. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about how many hours it is. Maybe it's like an hour, 2 hours, right? You binge watch a show, an hour, 2 hours.
You watch it when you get home from work, whatever.
Yeah. You think an hour, it's 2 hours, no big deal. But what could you have got if you were prospecting for an hour or two? What if you were following up for an hour or two? What if you had 2 appointments for those hour or two? Like, what kind of different numbers or life would that bring versus you catching up on, Game of Thrones or something? And don't get me wrong, I've watched Game of Thrones too. I'm just saying, like, that is an hour that I've chosen to give up productivity for entertainment. Yeah. You know what I mean? That makes a big difference. Well, how does that change what you've been doing? I mean, you got a 1-year-old, you got only so much time in the day. Like, what's your core focus?
I think that my standards are set high. Ooh. Like, when I compare myself to someone, I'm not comparing myself to, like, somebody who I went to school with or somebody who is doing less than me to make myself feel better. No. I compare myself to people like Elena Cardone, like Oprah, like people who have, not that I compare myself, but that's the standard that I'm going to hold myself to from, because that's the type of person that I want to be, Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I want to be just like them, but I don't like but the law of association, you have to associate with these type of people if you want those results,
Exactly.
So that's where I kind of like, I'm really hard on myself. I just make sure, like, in situations where I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up or I don't want to do this, what would she do? She wouldn't be considering the option of not getting up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, whoa, like, no, like, that's not who I am. Like, I'm her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally just imagine myself and put myself in that person. And it might not even be always Elena. It might be, in some situations, there's another artist that I really like. She's really inspirational. Her name is Sand One. She's from LA. She's like super type of girl, you know, like sometimes that's the kind of girl that I'm required to be. So that's the person in my head that I'm thinking I need to, you know, act like, you know.
We all have mentors. We all have people that we look up to for a number of different reasons. It's funny you said Oprah, because I was telling them the other day that I was listening to Oprah on her first class, right? And I was like, dude, all this stuff that she's talking about, her journey, her path, I'm learning from her because I know she is the best in the business when it comes to interviewing. Like, that's it. She's top dog, right? So why wouldn't I want to learn what she's doing? Yeah. And I do that with a bunch of different people. Anybody who I think is a success, who's doing something right, I want to learn about them, because if I can pull just one or two little things from what they're doing or from what they're saying or from anything that they can teach me, that makes me one or two little things stronger and better. And it just elevates me just that little bit. But I'm looking for those little bits every single day, right? I get up at 4 and my alarm goes off at 4:20 every morning to get up and go to the gym. And I don't want to get up at 4:20 in the morning, but it's one of those same things where I'm like, what would you be doing otherwise? Like, at the end of this run, how are you going to feel? And that I got from him, by the way. How do you want to feel when this is done?
Yeah.
And it makes all the difference in the world.
And it's all in your mind.
It's all in your mind. You just click it and then, you know, take the action, and you're going to get to where you want to go. And I know for me, that's one of the biggest things. Like, when you're talking, you know, who you look up to, we have mentors. Yeah. We have coaches. They may not know we exist.
I know.
Right? And that's okay. They might even be dead, you know, whoever it is that you're looking up to. But these are the people who have done something that you want to achieve, and they're great inspiration to look to. Yeah. It makes all the difference in the world. And here's something to me now, because you said you have a kid. This is a big thing to me. Being an example is very important, so that my kids, I can tell them things and they might listen, they might not listen, but they're going to see me doing things. And they're going to see the ethic that I put in, the work that I put in. And that's going to make them better, right? Just by being that example, not talking about it, not telling them what I've learned, but actually being a practitioner makes all the difference in the world. And I know your boy, your son is going to look at mama and be like, dude, my mom, like, you appreciate your parents. Yeah. You said at the beginning that you were looking at your parents saying, you know, I got my work ethic from them. They showed me what it's like to get up in the morning and go and move and produce. Like, you're just kind of perpetuating that, and you're going to set your bar. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, it's like, I know my parents worked their butt off, but they got to here. And for me in my life, that is my floor. Yeah. I can't go any lower than where they're at. I have to go at least there, if not higher. Otherwise, I feel like I let them down, right? And so I'm hoping that I'm instilling that in my kids. And wherever I get to, that's my bar. That has to be their floor. And they have to elevate from there. Like, I just think we owe it to the previous generation for the work that they did to help us to get to where we are, to just continue to elevate, you know, generationally. Yeah,
and on that note, I also am super passionate because I want to set an example for other girls, especially, and for minorities. You know, I'm Mexican and I'm a female, and more than anything, I love real estate because there's no glass ceiling. I love real estate because there's no glass ceiling.
Did you go to NAREP?
No.
No, Girls Kick Glass?
No, I didn't go.
Oh, dude, but I didn't get to go either. I was teaching, but I love that there is no glass ceiling, and if there is, just bust through that thing. Yeah, right.
It's all up to you in this. Yes. In this industry, it's all up to you, and that's what I love about it, because you have the freedom to make. You can make whatever you want. You know.
So the sky's the limit.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, in corporate and in so many other jobs, even in when I worked in CPS, I just felt like I was going to be another number forever, you know? And just like so many minorities and so many females, they're just another number, or they're just another person. And that's what I didn't want to do, you know.
Yeah,
so that's why it was so easy for me to ignore everybody's comments, everybody's judgments, everybody, whatever they want to say. They're not going to be the ones suffering for 40 years to receive 40% of their paycheck when they retire. I am, you know. So you could miss me. I'm not going to visit you. I'm busy, you know.
100%. Well, and you know, and it's not like you couldn't have gotten promoted. You could have, you know, gone up that corporate ladder, but it's their ladder.
It's going to be
there
a
is
limit, you know.
You know, you talked about a glass ceiling. There's a ceiling there. You're never going to be the CEO. You're never going to run that organization. It's not going to be your thing. You're never going to have full creative control, especially from an artist who wants full creative control. Whereas here, like, there is no limit. You can take it to wherever you want. You want to be the top producing agent in your brokerage or in the city or in the state or in the country. You could do that. There is no limit for you. You want to build the biggest team, you could do that. Yeah. Like, there's no limit to you, to what it is you could do versus the other route, you know. And I love the fact that you didn't, whether you tried to, whether it happened to you, the fact that you had this alternate route and you were forced to take other steps when it comes to schooling and stuff. I think it was probably one of their biggest blessings. Like, you were forced to do that by a higher level. Like, no, that path is not for you.
Yeah,
come here. You got to go this route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the social worker thing, I think that's also a big aspect for you, because you learn to talk to people in their worst position ever. The emotions that they're going through. You had to sit down,
so hard,
right, and talk to them and be on a level, give them bad news.
It's like such a negative environment that even like talking about it makes me feel like down. Like, it's so hard to be like, some people it might be easy for a few years, but then after a while it just becomes like really hard, you know. So it's definitely like a challenging environment. Yeah,
but you overcame it, and you take those skills with you onto what you're doing now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
All that solution, like problem solving skills are definitely, developed in those jobs. Yeah. Yeah.
Now the most stressful thing is when a couple's deciding whether they want to work with you or not, or whether they want to move on to the next. It's not stressful. The stress level is nowhere near what you already had to deal with. So you can handle that no problem. Yeah. Right. It makes all the difference in the world. All right. This camera right here, I want you to look right here. I want you to tell people, now that they know, like, and trust you, right? They heard your story. I want you to tell them how to get a hold of you.
You guys can call me or message me, text message 619-762-9166, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'm always on there. Facebook message me, or you can email me, but who does that anymore? Yeah,
dang, nobody does that anymore. Right? Old school, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just kidding.
Emails old school.
Right? DM me.
I'm like digging through my emails every day.
Just kidding. No, I check my emails every single
of course hour. We do. And by the way, you have your little banner right under you, so you can point right there. All her information's right there in front of you. All right, ask the bros. What would you like to know about either James or myself?
What inspired you guys to start the podcast?
Ooh, we get that question quite a bit. Honestly, it was self-driven. It was one of those things where we're like, okay, well, we need to get in front of more people, tell them what it is we do. And we initially tried video, and it took a long time to edit video. So I was like, okay, let's try this podcast thing. And so the podcast we started, I dragged him into it. I said, it's time for you to come over and do a podcast every single day. And he said he agreed reluctantly. But we started doing this every day, and we got better at it. And then, we got advice from an 8-year-old kid to, my 8-year-old kid to invite people to come over. And all of a sudden it started growing even more. And as we met more people, they gave us advice on different things, like using the cell phone cameras, using Sling Studio, getting different mics, designing. Everything that's happened has been a progression from everybody that we brought on. So when I was talking about the whole mentors and the coaches, and we take little bits and pieces from everybody, we are where we are because of all all the guests that have come on the show. Every person who comes on here, I learn a little bit from. Something that I take away, and it's almost like selfish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I give you great, you get to come on, you get exposure, but I get to learn from you. I get to take that little piece. It's a win-win. And awesome. so that's, that's how we started. That's what we decided to do. And we've been kicking it every day.
Yeah, you guys are doing amazing. So congratulations.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Last little thing. You ready? Who do you think would be a good guest to have on the podcast?
Okay, so I think that you guys should interview Mario Lopez from Catch This Fade Barbershop in Imperial Beach.
You got me nervous, said Mario Lopez. I was like, I know you went to Chula Vista High. I don't know if you got that connection. We're down.
No, that Mario Lopez doesn't cut hair like this one. That Mario Lopez doesn't cut hair like this one. He's really good at what he does, so you should have him on here.
Cool. What was the name of his company again?
Catch This Fade
Barbershop.
Catch
This Fade.
Yes.
Think you can give me a fade? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
of
got
course. Him or my man Josh, he's there too.
We'll get the knife and just straight razor all the way back. That's cool. All right, Mario, you've been tagged. We're gonna reach out to you, see if we can get him on the show. Dude, you did amazing. First time?
Thank you. Yeah, this is my first interview. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you did a great job.
Oh, thank
Story was nice, tense. We got to learn a little bit about you.
Thank
so I want to
you.
say thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, Jocelyn.
Me.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. So if you got new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, 619-884-0045 is James's number, or you can hit him up on email. I know it's old school, but james@csfirst.com. I had to throw it in there. By the way, he also sells insurance. So if you bought a new home, or you're thinking about buying a home, or you just want to take a look at your homeowner's policy, hit him up. You want to add insurance into your business. Maybe you got a brokerage office. Maybe you got a mortgage office. Maybe you got a tax office. You want to add another line of revenue. Hit him up, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And August 24th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., we're going to be doing a beach cleanup in IB. Find us on social at Business Bros Pod to get more information on that. That's all we got for you guys today.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
I'm thinking about doing a water gun fight. You think that'd be cool if we get a bunch of people to bring water guns and we have a huge water gun fight at the beach?
Yeah, with this heat, you're going to have everybody.
Right? Yeah. Even if you didn't show up for a beach cleanup, they're going to be like, what time's a water gun fight? That's when we're going to show up. Yeah. All right, that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out.
All right.
Bye, Facebook.
Thank you, Facebook. Love you.
You did great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.